Hello, this is Michaela of Studious Octopus, and I'm just here doing the GlossyBox catch-up for the April 2016 UK GlossyBox. This was the spring preening edition where we had 5 items. I think it was 4 full size and 1 deluxe sample. I'm just going to get right into it. If you want to see the initial unboxing, there'll be a video link at the end. So first off, we had the Next Make Me Beautiful Lip Chubby. I got the shade Cherry Red, which is a nice red shade. It also comes in a more plum shade, pink shade, and a coral shade. I think there's about 5. I think I would have preferred the coral shade, but only because I've been liking the look of coral lipsticks and nude lipsticks at the minute. So my feelings on it so far, it's a very, very wet sort of application if you actually just use it properly like a lip item, which I think you can tell really because the actual product is quite shiny in the packaging. And I think on me personally, a wet look lipstick makes me look a bit messy if I don't go to the trouble of using a lip liner. So this isn't really a throw it in your bag sort of easy to use item in that sense. However, if you just use a tiny bit of the product, you get more of a mattifying sort of lip stain look rather than a full lipstick look. The other way you can do this is to just apply it and blot it, and you can do that in layers. And there we go, you can give yourself sort of just a little bit, just as a sort of a lip stain. And then apply a little more, and that's how I've been enjoying wearing it. But obviously you can wear your lipsticks however you like. That's kind of the beauty of makeup. It's up to you how you wear them. So just a little bit of a stain for me I think looks a little nicer with this wet formula. My feelings on it so far, it doesn't feel like when you wind it up there's particularly any more product there than a standard size lipstick, despite the fact that it's in this much bigger sort of shiny packaging. So I think given that you're not getting hugely more money than a normal lipstick, and I don't think the formula is particularly anything special compared to a lot of standard lipsticks, so I think £8 is actually probably a bit overpriced for this product. I think I'd be more likely to spend £5 or £6 on it. That is a lot more in line, I think, with sort of Rimmel lipsticks, and I don't think this is particularly any nicer than those, nor can you get any shades that are that, you know, unattainable elsewhere. So it's nice enough, I just don't think I would repurchase it at the price that it is when I could buy a slightly more affordable but just as nice lipstick from either Rimmel or even Essence. So I haven't tried many Essence lipsticks. This was £8 full price. The next item is the Leighton Denny Miracle Mist for quick drying nails, and I've used this a couple of times. I've got on a sort of nude polish with glitter tips at the minute, and to its credit, the product does say it only actually touch dries your nails, so it gives the surface the feeling of being drier a bit quicker. It isn't actually really fully drying your nails any quicker, which is the bit that for me makes it feel like it's just an extra step. It doesn't help that much, and it isn't like super cheap. It was £12 for just this container. Maybe if you were super into your nails and really liked nail things, this would appeal to you more, but I don't do my nails very often, and I'm not very patient with it either. I don't want to do lots of complicated things, add extra layers, and yeah, it's like if it's not going to dry it properly, it feels like what's the point? You're still really are supposed to wait 10 minutes for your nail polish to dry to ensure that you're not going to smush it right off. Like, you can't stick your hands in your jeans pocket and have the nail polish stay. It's not really drying your nails, it's just drying the surface. So I wouldn't rebuy it for that reason. It's not good enough to warrant it as an extra step and an extra money. If you are not as into doing your nails, you could give it a miss, I think, very easily. Next up, So far these are both full size. Next up was the Swiss Smile Whitening Toothpaste, which is coming up very bright because of the lighting. And this is fairly expensive, I think, for what it is, a whitening toothpaste. You can get proper whitening toothpastes at much more affordable prices, but I would say actually it definitely worked. I'm not hugely personally bothered about the colour of my teeth. I don't think they're that bad. They have that sort of actually quite natural, very, very not white look, because teeth aren't white, and like it's not something that I've ever been super bothered. But this has actually, because I've been using it, it's about half used, or maybe even only a third used up. It is actually slowly, quite naturally lightening the shade of my teeth. It's not a huge dramatic, you put it on once and that's it, they're white, but it is making a difference, I do think. So if you were looking for something maybe a bit nicer and a bit pricier to whiten your teeth, I would definitely say this works. It's just I am not personally bothered about whitening my teeth. So that's how I feel about that. Whether it's worth the money, I haven't really tried a lot of other whitening products to really say that. The fact that it works makes me feel like, you know, you bought it and at least it works. That's good. So there's that. The next item, and this was full size again, the next item was the full size brow pencil, the, what was this called? Brow Lift Defining Liner from Studio 10, where you got the darker shade and the lighter shade. And I have actually quite liked this as I've been using it. I know lots of people have been saying online that it's a bit too firm, but I actually quite like that personally. You don't get a lot sort of coming on in one creamy sort of mess. You actually can do quite small, quite defined strokes with this, so it actually looks a lot more natural. But some people have complained that it's a bit too much for their skin. It's not for me personally. I can just do a little now here. It's also quite a nice neutral sort of grey pencil colour. So there's one there done slightly more than the other. You can see it sort of naturally darkens up the area, but it's not a huge dramatic sort of effect, just sort of brushing it on lightly. Obviously, if you wanted to do your brows a bit more properly, you would probably actually want to use a combination of products. But this does definitely work. The thing that I like about using a pencil for your eyeliner, for your brows, is that it's that quick and it's that easy. It didn't take me very long at all to put them on. So it's not particularly precise, dramatic, harsh lines. It has darkened them up and made them a little more noticeable. So this was a nice, quite easy to use pencil. Perhaps you might think at £22 it's a little bit pricey for what it is, but I didn't actually realise at the time part of this company's shtick, as it were, is that they are supporting cancer and women with cancer with these products. So part of that price is going to cancer charity, cancer research type things, which I suppose it depends if you feel like that's worth it, or maybe if you'd rather buy another type of pencil and just give some money to charity. But it's more money for that, more than that you're buying the product necessarily. So I'm not sure how much to really talk about whether it's worth it in terms of the results, because the money is for more than just the product. I personally actually don't reach for a brow pencil day-to-day sort of makeup wise. I prefer a brow gel. I'm currently just using the MUA one in this little pot, and that is because I'm not sure how obvious it is on this lighting, but I'll try and zoom in a little. My brow hairs are actually quite pale. I have a lot of blonde in them and white in them, whereas, well, while my hair isn't super dark brown, I don't have quite that much blonde in my hair, so they always do actually come across as quite light unless I put brow gel on. So my go-to product for brows anyway is a nice sort of light, even coating of brow gel rather than a brow pencil, but it's nice enough, it works, I don't regret having it. And I still think actually you can definitely multi-use this product. It's a nice general purpose 2-color pencil. You could use this as a brown eyeliner, and you could use this possibly even as an eyeshadow base, the light color, and you could use these as lip pencils as well. I definitely think you could get away with multi-using this if you're not necessarily into using this type of format for your eyebrows. And then the last item, which is the slightly controversial one, which I think people have quite rightly been annoyed about, is the Body Shop Oils of Life sample. The reason people were annoyed is that you can get this sample for free. You still have to jump through a hoop of, I think, giving them your email address or something like that, some information that you're giving them, and you get this for free anyway from the Body Shop, which does feel a bit like if you're getting it in a box that you're paying for, they maybe should have sprung to giving everyone the full size one. But yeah, I can see why people feel annoyed at that. Personally, I have liked using it. It feels nice and it smells really nice, and it has sort of a lovely, warming, luxurious feel on your face, like facial oils always do. I like the ingredients in it. However, for £28 full size, which is about 30 millilitres, I don't think it's nice enough over the Boots Botanics facial oil, which is what I do use, that it's worth that. I don't think it's worth the extra money because it's not proportionately any nicer. It has very similar ingredients and it's worth about a third to a half of the price, I think. It costs about a third to a half of the price, the Boots Botanics one. So if I was going to recommend an affordable facial oil, it would definitely be the Boots Botanics Rosehip one, because I use that and I quite like it. Not to knock this, it's still lovely, and if you're really into the Body Shop stuff, I would say it would be worth using, but that's that you're paying a little bit extra maybe than you could for a similar product. And then just to quickly talk about the product, this dropper does really help. I do still wish, thinking back to the very first time we got a facial oil sample from Monu Skincare from the GlossyBox, where it was just in a pot, that people probably would have been a lot more positive about it had it had the dripper mechanic, because it makes it so much easier to put it directly onto your face. You're not tipping it out on anything, you're not having to rub it on anything, and you can portion it out really easily. That does make a difference for using these facial oils. I would also say for people for the complaint about it being free in the shop anyway, this was at least the lowest value item in the whole box. As a deluxe sample, it was £6.50. My whole box was worth £77-ish. So taking that out, my whole box is actually still pretty high value because of the high value items, whether or not you think they are worth it. Which comes up to the last issue, the box overview. I would say actually I am mostly happy with the box. A lot of it isn't products that I would rebuy, but I didn't hate any of it. I just wouldn't rebuy it. But I do think one of the standout issues this month was how much more some people got in terms of the value of their box than other people, which I don't think is very fair when we do all pay the same amount for the box. Because yes, it's nice to get a different variety of products and to go, well, I got this, well, you got that, isn't that cool? What will I get next time? I still think you should go, we should all get the same value, made up maybe of a combination of items. I think that would still feel fairer to most people. And that if part of that will be that there are certain items that literally everyone gets, that will maybe be a better answer, which they do sort of do. But I know some people got boxes that were worth £20, £30, way less than I have, which really doesn't feel very fair. But overall, I'm still happy with the box. I still like this month's box. I still like trying all of the items, and I'm going to use them up, barring possibly the nail mist, because I really do think it's just an extra step for me that is not adding anything. So while it's interesting to try a spray-on nail product, because they're becoming seemingly all the rage now, it's not for me. But that was the April 2016 GlossyBox catch-up. And I'll see you again soon for the May GlossyBox, where we should hopefully be getting a Revlon mascara each. But I'll see you again next time. Contents there, so there's quite a few nice looking sized packets. I'm going to have a read of this.
Is anybody out there? Please help!
Hello.